Real estate wholesale, the ideal workflow for profitability. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. On this episode, I want to get into some details, a little bit of detail, a little bit more details about the typical workflow from start to finish of an ideal real estate workflow, because a viewer just asked me to do a video like that, send in a question. So I'm going to read the question, then I'm going to give you the workflow, okay, of an ideal real estate wholesale deal when it comes to New Jersey, because that's my home state. Maybe a little bit of variations, but not too much when it comes to other states, okay? But you want to check with your attorneys, your real estate personnel, title companies, or just join the real estate association in your local area to find out how it's done. But I'm going to give you, as it relates to New Jersey, honestly, it's not that much different, but it can vary. It depends on what you're doing, depends on what time in this planet you are, but the best way to find out the most updated information is once you've gone through this workflow, you understand what it is, then you can now say, hey, can you tell me what's specific to this state, if you find a mentor in your local area, okay? So this person says, hey, thanks so much for all your videos. Thank you. I love doing the videos. So thank you to you for viewing the videos. So I just went through, by the way, the best way to thank me for those videos is to subscribe, like, and share my videos, okay? And then always watch when I release a new one. Click the bell right next to the subscribe buttons to make sure you get notifications every time I release a new video, or once, 5 times a week, 3 times a week, something like that. But anyway, so it goes. So I just went through a home study course on real estate wholesale. To say the least, I was more confused than ever. 7 years ago, I went to San Diego for a seminar on real estate investing. I have not closed one deal. Ouch, 7 years. Typically, when people tell me that, it usually means they have not done much, okay? Because there's no one complete any course out there. We can help. I try my best to help as much as possible in my courses, but again, the best teaching, the best lessons you're going to get out of this will come from experience, okay? So you got to get out there and start doing, if you haven't been doing. So I can bet $10,000 on it that you haven't done much, okay? If you've been hanging around for 7 years and haven't closed one deal. Partly my fault. Yeah, right. Partly my fault. Partly my fault, but honestly, mostly because of the half-ass information that all these gurus teach. Like I just said, there's no complete 100% complete course out there. It just doesn't exist, because what you will find out while you're in the midst of experience, while you're doing, are typically would not be found in a textbook. That will become your own proprietary property, right? So that's why you want to get out there again and start doing, and stop expecting a course to become the holy grail. The only thing I can tell you with real estate wholesaling courses that doesn't exist out there is how to market in the digital age properly. There's no course that teaches specifically marketing for real estate wholesale. That's the only thing I teach here. There's no other people I know that do it. Everybody else is just teaching you wholesaling. But then after you learn wholesaling, how do you find the motivated sellers? From the internet, which is where most people hang out these days. That's the part that most people miss, and that's what I try to cover here. All right, so I have not closed one deal, partly my fault, yeah, blah, blah, half-ass information. I decided to do a quick research one more time a few weeks ago, and I stumbled across your video. Yeah, that's pretty much orchestrated, okay? That wasn't a coincidence. I set up these videos to attract people that are struggling in real estate wholesaling, people that have learned what there is to know about real estate wholesaling, except how to attract motivated sellers on the internet, right? How to attract cash buyers, how to attract buyers, qualified buyers especially, right? All right, so we're going to talk all about that in a second here. Great job, I must say. Again, thank you for being a viewer. The best way to thank me is to share my videos, okay? The only part that makes the most sense to me before your videos is the $30,000 to $40,000 average net profit per deal. But that's broken record. Yeah, you keep hearing that. You keep hearing all the stories. You're not even sure if they're making up the stories, success stories all over the place. Can you show me how to do that too? as opposed to just watching success stories, right? So I can feel your pain there. So he goes, I have needed someone to cover the details of a typical workflow from start to finish of an ideal real estate wholesale deal. I picked a few nuggets around your videos. Can you do one video focused on the workflow? Thanks. All right, great question. Fantastic question. So, with that being said, I'm going to go through a workflow of from start to finish of a typical real estate deal, and here it goes. Okay, where there are two things. Let me say, in any business, you need three. It's a three P's, right? You have the people, the product, and the process. Okay, the people, product, and the process. If you want more details about that, you just Google three P's of real estate wholesale. I have another video that covers that in details. Also, the process is broken down into the three C's. There's another video that where I cover the three C's, okay? So you can literally Google the three C's of real estate wholesale. Ola Talks Abitogo, my name. It will come right up, so you can watch that video as well. But I'll try my best to put that into the workflow. This video is about the workflow. Like if we forget all those technicalities for a second, I'm going to show you how I get into the market, how I attract a deal, how I flip through the deal, how I assign the different personnel in the deal, and how we close the deal, right? So I'm going to give you the most ideal situation, okay? All right, so I'm going to assume also that you already have, I'm going to assume that, you know what, let me just start from, so I get out into the market, I market, okay? I simply market, okay? Marketing, okay? I need people. Why do I market? Because I need people, because it's part of the three P's, right? I need people. What type of people? Well, I need, at this stage in the workflow, I need people that are looking to get rid of a liability property. People that need to get rid of a property that's a pain in the butt. People that are looking to get rid of a property that's distressed, a distressed property by a distressed owner, a landlord that's tired of paying out of pocket, a person that's divorcing but they have a house that they need to get rid of, a person that they need to get rid of a house that they owe too much money on, but they're in pre-foreclosure now, right? Motivated seller. Somebody needs to get rid of a property that's become a liability, okay? That's who I am looking for right now. So somebody out of my marketing. Again, on this channel, I cover details on how I market. I cover that details, especially with the link on the screen, which is olatux.com/mastermind, the olatalks.com/mastermind. I cover that in detail. So I do marketing, and this person calls me and say, hey, Ola, I got this property in Old Bridge, New Jersey. I think I'm ready. It's ready to go. I need to get rid of it. Can you come? Can you come and take a look? And I said, oh, sound fantastic. Well, can you have pictures online somewhere? Okay. What's the address? I look at, okay, I see the house. Okay. All right. So you're owing, so this is my conversation now. So you're owing $450,000 on this house? But based on everything, based on my quick scan, it looks like this property is only worth 250. So 250. Yeah, I know. The market crashed, right? So, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Are you willing to walk away with nothing from this property? I mean, I was hoping I can walk away with maybe $5,000, maybe $3,000. Okay, we'll work something out. But let me take a closer look again. Can you give me 1 second? All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you an email with the contract, okay? I want you to get the contract over to me, okay? And then I'll start working on it from there. All right? So that's that. A motivated seller. They actually signed the contract. I haven't seen the house. I did a little bit of due diligence, right? But it's not much. They're signing a contract, right? So they signed the contract, they fill out their name, and they pretty much accepting my offer to walk away from the property, not taking anything, okay? It doesn't always work out that way. It depends on how much equity they have in the property. Bottom line is that this person is so motivated, they've literally faxed the contract over to me the same day. Is that contract binding? Doesn't matter to me, okay? You can go back and forth and debate if it's binding or not, okay? Bottom line is that this homeowner is ready to get rid of this property, and that's all we all care about, okay? And honestly, I've seen scenarios where no contract was binding until actual closing, okay? Even though with all the standardized contract, all that stuff, people back out of it, okay? If they're not motivated enough, okay, they could back out of anything, okay? And you don't have time to be chasing them around because of a house that you probably don't even want, right? But again, this is all you're looking to deal with somebody who is motivated. Psychologically speaking, they need to get rid of this property, right? That's the whole idea. So they sign it, they get it over to me. Once they sign, they get it over to me. I send a copy to the title company to give me a preliminary search. Okay, now if you've never done that before, okay, if you've never done a deal before, a title company may want to charge you. But if you do deals all the time, title companies, they know you're going to close the deal anyway. They make money working with you because you're always closing deals. But if they want to charge you, just try to consult with somebody in your local area and see if their company is willing to work with you because you're brand new, or work with somebody who is established as a partner to partner. That's what I did. When I started, what I did was I partnered with somebody who is established. So I leveraged all their contacts, all their title company contacts, attorney contacts, all the stuff. I leveraged all that stuff for the first 4 deals. Okay. So anyway, so you put the house under contract, you send the title company, you have all that together. So this is a house now. Remember, this is a house that they owe $450,000 on it, and it's $225,000 that's actually worth, right, in the market. Well, I did a little bit of more research. I noticed that property can probably still go for $300,000, but I'm not necessarily telling the homeowner that. Okay, why? Because they're motivated, and obviously they're in a situation they need to get rid of the property. But for me, I'm looking at the spread. This is all ranges anyway. This is just a spread for me to see the potential deal in this property. So I turned around, I went to the bank, I put a package together with the contract, right? And I go to the bank, I say, hey, this property is worth only 225, more like 200. I would say things like 200 because they're going to come back and negotiate back and forth. I finished negotiations within about 60 days with the bank. The bank says, you know what, we'll sell you the property for 213, right? I did a few more comps. I noticed that this property can actually be sold at the wholesale price of about 270, right? So the property, again, at one point when market was good, was worth 450. Somebody sold it to this gentleman for 450, right? But now the bank has agreed and given me what you call a short sale approval. So this wholesale deal is actually has short sale attached to it, right? So then I turn around and say, okay, 213, right? They're giving me the house for 213. Property can be sold for 270. I turn around. So now I look at my list of qualified buyers that I've been building all the while, right? So I build a list of qualified buyers by giving them free information on how to buy right, how to avoid the mistakes that typical landlords make and all those things. I build a list by giving all this free information out, right? So from that list, what I did is I have this house now ready to go with the short sale approved. I go on that list, I send a quick broadcast to that list. And I say, hey, I have this property available. If you want it for 260 wholesale, let me know, right? Before the following morning, I got a few replies and a few phone calls. If a couple of people left voicemail for me, I'm interested in that property. And say, can I take a look at it? I say, yeah, you could go drive by and take a look at it. Remember, this property is probably still worth about 400, maybe 350. Again, depending on what you're gonna do with the property, depending on what are you gonna fix and flip, are you gonna put work in this property? It doesn't matter to me. I want 250, 260 for this property. They go back, they go drive by, they say, hola, I want the property, I know that area, I want to work on it, I want to fix and flip it, right? And they say, okay, all right, good, send me your paperwork, let's get some work started on it, right? Remember, we did a preliminary title work earlier. We're going to continue to use that title work, right? So my attorney is now involved because now we have a qualified end buyer who wants to buy the property. I'll let my attorney determine the best way to do a double close, LLC close, or whatever way to do a double close to make sure that we protect everybody in a double transaction. Okay, sometimes it may not even be a double transaction, but I'll let the attorney decide that. Okay, for different states, it depends on what state you're in. It depends. Bottom line is it can be done legally, but I let the attorney worry about that. And ever since I've been doing it, I let the attorney worry about how they want to structure that. Bottom line is that I put this house under contract for 213. The owner of the property agrees to it. The bank that they're owing 450 to it agrees to it. And then this person is agreeing to purchase it for 250. I'm getting ready to make about $37,000. Okay. So after paying some closing costs, paying some PSE&G bill came up, right? In the title search, they're owing money to PSE&G for $5,000. So that's $37,000 less $5,000. I'm going to give about $2,000 to the homeowner to walk away. You know, I'm going to give them $2,000. The bank says they can't walk away with nothing. Well, guess what? I'm going to buy the couch, the leftover couch in front of their house for $2,000 so they can have moving money, right? So I give them $2,000, right? So now I'm less five plus $2,000, so I'm down to $30,000, right? Some other little fees here and their closing costs, I'm down to $27,000 in profit. Okay, so now all of this closing costs here and there, all of that, the rest of the information in that process, I let the attorney worry about. The attorney and the title company and whoever is financing the deal for the qualified end buyer. It doesn't have to be cash. It could be mortgage. It could be hard money, as long as it's a qualified end buyer. Okay, qualified end buyer, they need to provide you with information like proof of funds. They need to provide you with the approval from their bank if they're using a mortgage. They need to provide you with a few things that if you have a realtor on your team, they'll be able to help you with that. I encourage to have a realtor on the team, and the realtor on the team will do that. Why? Because they're making a cut commission. They could make 3.5 commission from the total sales, and they can double dip in both transactions as well too. If you have a good realtor on your side, they make your life a lot more easier. If I were you, I would actually get licensed. It costs what, $150 to get licensed? I would just get licensed so I can have access to everything in the market if you plan to do this long term. Okay, the only thing I worry about in all of this as a wholesaler is attracting the motivated seller and then building the list of qualified end buyers. That's really the major part you worry about in this whole process. The rest of it, you let the attorney, you let the loan officers, the bankers, you let them worry about that. You let the title company worry about it. If you're facilitating deals all the time between motivated sellers and a qualified end buyer, all these people will help you. Really, all of them will help you. Just bring leads and prospects that are going to close to the table. All of these people will help you facilitate a deal over and over. And of course, eventually you're around this stuff, you'll continue to grasp how things work. If there's a change in the marketplace on how things are done, we don't like double closing anymore. We like to do with LLC closing. All of that stuff will come in your radar because you're busy focused on the most important thing in your business, which is generating the lifeblood, which is leads and prospects for your business. And in the real estate wholesale business, you have two types of leads. You have motivated sellers and you have qualified end buyers. You can attract motivated sellers online by simply creating content that solve their problem online, and you can send direct mail to a list as well too. You can send direct mail to a public list of pre-foreclosures, of expired leases. You can send an offer to them, but I typically will always encourage, if you're still doing that, make sure you're channeling them through an online website to pre-qualify them and also to build a list online of those people so you can continue to motivate them to make a move to call you, so you can continue to link up with them and follow up with them and things like that, right? Qualified end buyers, you build that list by giving them information on how to buy wholesale deals in the market, on the tricks on buying wholesale deals, the top mistakes to avoid when you're buying a wholesale deal. You give them all that information. Guess who they're going to buy from once you have a property? You, of course, because you'll be building that list and you can broadcast to them anytime you want. Your job is to find motivated sellers, process the in-between. If there's a short sales that need to be done, you get that done. You can actually outsource that if you want, okay? And then once the deal is ready and you know how much you want for it, you simply go to your list of qualified end buyers and you send a broadcast and you say, hey, I have the property ready to go. So if everything goes wrong and I'm able to sell that particular property for $240, right? $240 minus $213, again, we're ending up at, I don't know, if I make $10,000, $15,000, it's still a good day, okay? It's still a good day. And again, like I said on one of my last videos, you want to build a pipeline of all of this just coming in, okay? So it's very simple. You're buying low, you're selling high. Yeah, you're buying low, you're selling high, but you're still selling wholesale. You're creating deals that are wholesale so that you can get rid of it quickly. And again, you're nurturing this list of qualified buyers. See, I'm so used to saying cash buyers, but I mean qualified buyers that would love to hear from you all the time, okay? And you keep doing that and you're doing that, before you know it, you're in the game, and that process is seamless, okay? Seamless. So that's the workflow typically from motivated sellers to closing the deal, okay? For you, you find motivated sellers, you broadcast. That's your workflow. That's really all you have to worry about. Is anything outside of that needs to be worried about by the loan officers, the bankers, the mortgage companies, the title company, the attorneys. You let them worry about all the technicalities, the legalities, all that nonsense. You let attorneys and the title company worry about that. What kind of contract? Is the contract wrong? The contract you sent, was it wrong? Well, you let them fix it at closing. Now you know what to use the next time. You get a copy of it so you can use it the next time. So a lot of people get hung up on the details that doesn't matter. What kind of contract do you use? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just sign a contract. If the contract was wrong, they will fix it at closing. If you're dealing with a true motivated seller, you will fix it at closing, and before you know it, you've just closed the deal. Without all you're doing is just being the media house. You just pass the people through the media house. Okay, that's it. Okay, market, message, media. That's all you're doing. The 3 M's, the 3 P's, and the 3 C's. You can Google the 3 C's. Ola talks Abitogun, the 3 P's of wholesale business, of real estate wholesale. Ola Talks Abitogun, or Google the 3 P's of real estate wholesale, Ola Talks Abitogun. Just Google those information, and you need to watch those fundamental videos. If you want exactly how I do this online, step by step, go to the link on the screen, olatalks.com/mastermind. It's OLATUX.com/mastermind. If you like this video, share with your friends. Click like, give me a thumbs up. Okay, share your thoughts, your questions on the comment box below. Subscribe to this channel if you want to keep getting this video. Click the bell right next to the subscribe button to make sure you get notifications every time I release a new video on wholesaling real estate, as I do, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times a week. Okay, you need to stay on top of that. Okay, hopefully you've been enlightened and educated, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.